Does Magic deserve most of the blame if they strike out this summer?
Just this summer. Not even the 2-summer standard he set for himself, just this summer. Well, yes, the answer is yes. Even if it's just judged on one summer alone, that being this summer, yeah, Magic deserves the blame. And you know what? Magic knows it. The truth of the matter is, I listened to you guys earlier, and I think your analysis, both at the top of the show and then talking about Kawhi Leonard and who LeBron should call afterwards, I think you were spot on. I think the only place you two fail, and you nailed it, Molly, is you're being too easy on Magic. You're being more easy on Magic than he's being on himself. He's setting a standard for himself that is respectable because everybody knows that's what he should pull off. Think about the cards he's holding in his hand. Number one, as you point out so eloquently and on occasion, he's Magic Johnson. He's the best salesman the NBA has to offer. What is Magic Johnson selling? Number two, he's selling the city of Los Angeles and the franchise of the Los Angeles Lakers. That's the two best cards geographically and franchise-wise in the NBA. Number three, he's attempting to sell that to a guy, at least this summer in LeBron James, that wants to be sold on it. He wants to consider L.A. He has homes in L.A. Magic is dealing every card from the top of the deck, the best cards. Add to that number four, he has 2 max free agent slots. He has the ability to pull this off. It just keeps getting easier and easier as I lay this out. Magic Johnson, L.A., LeBron James, the Lakers franchise, financial ability to pull it off. If he doesn't do it, it's nothing short of a failure, and yes, he deserves the blame.
Well, first of all, I appreciate you agreeing with me. Secondly, I don't like the fact that when this show brings you on, you sit back and you recline in your chair acting like you are Judge Cain. You are a rookie, all right? Watch your manners.
Judge show?
He has his own show now, though.
He's on radio, okay? He's a rookie. Oh, please, it's a radio show that happens to be on TV.
What did Mills Land
You're a rookie.
I'm not final
like
because
the
I'm right.
rookie that you are. The rookie. Okay, the rookie is the rookie, okay? That's number 2.
It's not a face for radio.
There we go. Well, that's for you to say.
Oh, right, don't make it awkward.
I'm just saying it's not awkward. I mean, it's just what it is. Here's the deal. Magic Johnson, and I say this, I'm not letting him off the hook. I'm not being light on him. I'm just being matter of fact. Magic Johnson is Magic Johnson. And when you're succeeding Jim Buss, you're basically playing with house money because of how awful and dysfunctional the franchise was. The Lakers have now returned to a basketball franchise as opposed to a laughingstock, a joke, and a national embarrassment to basketball under the Jim Buss era. Okay? We appreciate that. But in the end, if I'm going to sit up there and look at a Phil Jackson, I'm going to look at a Magic Johnson in a sense. And Magic Johnson's already ahead of the curve. I believe Magic Johnson is going to get at least one of these players. I believe that Magic Johnson's going to do an outstanding job. He's a basketball savant. I completely believe in him. But it does come down to recruiting. What I do like is the fact that Magic Johnson could get these people to talk to him. I have no doubt that he or some of the folks in his camp have already spoken to folks. But Magic can get people to visit. Magic can get people to sit down with him once it's legal and allowable for him to do that. Phil Jackson couldn't even do that. Couldn't get guys to sit down to dinner with him. Had to put players out there hoping that they'll talk to players on his behalf because they didn't want to pay any attention to Phil Jackson. That is not the case with Magic Johnson. But because it's L.A. Max, because it's L.A., and because it's Magic, and because it's the Lakers as opposed to the Clippers, you have got to end up with somebody because recruiting. This is what I told you about Sam Hinkie. That was my problem with the process. You can draft players and create cap space. But if you, particularly when you're at a top market, even though the money is the same, you have got to show up and recruit and get guys to consider your franchise because you are talking to them. That is the job of a president of basketball operations in this day and era.
Max, I want you to get in, but I just want to make it clear. He's saying this summer. Stephen A. saying that after 2 years.
Gotcha. Here it is, guys. What constitutes striking out? I'm claiming now that this summer, you don't have to have any max free agents. 0. No LeBron James, no Paul George, and you might be better off for it. LeBron will start to decline.
Do you have to?
Let me finish.
Sure.
LeBron will start to decline probably pretty soon. He's resetting the record as Tom Brady has done. Every time he goes out there as the best player in the game. It's ridiculous. But he will start to decline pretty soon, and you'll be locked into a long-term deal with a declining asset.
Okay.
Paul George is not the best player on a championship team, and you're going to have to give him max dollars, whatever the most allowable is to get him.
Here's my point. Let's say all the Lakers do this offseason is get Clint Capella as a restricted free agent and make a trade for Kemba Walker, which I think is a lot, who makes $12 million a year. And now your lineup is you use Lonzo in the Kemba Walker trade, whatever it is, you get out of the Luol Deng contract. Now your real only assets, you stripped it down to where you got Kemba Walker, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Clint Capella, cap space for a max contract next year, plus enough space to fit more pieces in, even if it's not a max deal, when Kawhi will be available to get his own team for the Lakers. That is a huge success, and it does not involve Paul George or LeBron James this year.
No, see, I heard you lay that out earlier. This is where I think you're both being soft, okay? First of all, somebody, that's not good enough. Somebody doesn't cut it. LeBron James cuts it. And for you, Capella and Kemba Walker, no.
Stop right there. You saying that?
Hold on,
if he
let me
doesn't get, I'm just saying, are you saying that if he doesn't get LeBron James, he's failed?
I'm telling you, if he doesn't get LeBron James, the next summer better be an absolute and utter home run that I'm going to lay out for you. Not just a somebody. I'm going to tell you specifically what will have to happen if he doesn't get LeBron James. First of all, I wish you luck. I don't think the AARP is going to be sponsoring any Max Kellerman segments. You're not going to get that sponsorship deal.
You think the athletes will never decline?
I think it's official now with the Brady and LeBron things. You've lost the AARP. I may be the rookie, but you're done with
double ARP. Yes. Right.
So, listen, you have to have, in my estimation, this: LeBron James and one of these three: Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Klay Thompson. One of those three. Two will be available next summer. One of them will be available this summer, right? And here's why. Here's the card we haven't yet played. Actually, you did earlier in the show. Perfect fit. Two-way, versatile wing, not ball dominant. Kawhi, Klay, and Paul George. I agree, Max. They're not all the same. They're not all of equal value. But you put any of those three, one of those three, next to LeBron James, and you have a perfect basketball fit. So what Magic Johnson has to pull off is LeBron plus one of those. If he strikes out on LeBron this summer, then he has to get two.
But Will, what you're saying
he has to get two of those.
What you're saying is